that's coming in from Bengal. Moments after Trinamool Congress's spectacular victory, these are images that you see of the BJP office being burnt down in Arambagh. There you see these images of the BJP office being burnt down in Arambagh in Hooghly. I want to once again bring in Polami Saha for more on this. Polami, this was feared. And several BJP workers and supporters also said that in case Trinamool Congress wins in a very big way, there could be violence. Is this that? What's happening, Polami, on ground?
Well, this is definitely a very disturbing sign of, things that possibly could spiral out of control if the state government and the party of the Trinamool Congress doesn't immediately clamp down on it, because this was feared, like you said. Now, of course, those images we're beaming to our viewers right now of the BJP office being burnt in Arambagh in Hooghly district. Remember, Arambagh again witnessed a very hot contest between the TMC and the BJP, especially because the TMC candidate was Shujata Mandal, who is, of course, the BJYM Bengal unit's President's ex-wife, Soumitra Khan's ex-wife Shujata Mandal. She jumped over to the TMC while being in the BJP with her husband. She jumped over to the TMC, and that is something which in fact, didn't go down in fact very well with the TMC Karyakartas on the ground as well, because they thought that she was the BJP turncoat being brought into the TMC, and they didn't quite like it. So it was a very interesting contest that happened in the Arambagh seat. Eventually, it appears that Shujata Mandal may have stolen a march over the Bharatiya Janata Party, her erstwhile party, in this contest. But the unfortunate fallout that you're seeing right now is that there are episodes that are being reported to us by our various colleagues from on the ground across the districts of skirmishes taking place, clashes taking place, and then of course these very, very disturbing images of a BJP office being burnt in Arambagh by, of course, miscreants. It is a matter of investigation, but these are the kind of images that the Mamata Banerjee government needs to put a stop on, because you have won with a resounding majority, but if you aren't able to control the fallout of it, then it is definitely not going to look very good.
But is there an apprehension, Polami, that there could be more of this in the days and weeks ahead, and God forbid, but this was feared, and that is why towards the later phases, not many were going out to vote. One fear was COVID. Another fear was that in case, election results went in one way, people on the other side may just, the voters and supporters on the other side may just have to face the brunt. Is this what is unfortunately already happening? And there is a history of this in Bengal.
There is a history of this in Bengal. Unfortunately, elections in Bengal, Gaurav, have not been violence-free. It's a very disturbing thing to even say that, there are elections which are conducted under the shadow of violence over here. Aside from all the, booth capturing that happened in the past, or the rigging allegations that have been made by various parties over the years against their opponents, all of that, those sort of malpractices aside, the fact that there's been violence and that doesn't seem to abate, that is going to be something that needs to be tackled with. What we can, of course, say from being on the ground during this election campaign and subsequently as the voting took place, Gaurav, is that fortunately, what we can say is, aside from the incident that happened in Sitalkuchi or the incident that happened in Nandigram, which of course investigation proved was only an accident and not as alleged by the Chief Minister, the incumbent Chief Minister, that it was an attack on her. Aside from the firing in Sitalkuchi and that incident, there was no major incident which was reported, which of course was troubling in the way that the Election Commission, of course, conducted the elections, and of course the central forces. Big credit to the central forces who of course spread themselves out entirely over and across the 23 districts of West Bengal in order to ensure that the elections were conducted in a free and fair manner to a large extent possible. But what is happening right now, these images from Arambagh, unfortunately, will of course, make people believe that their apprehensions that violence could happen in the wake of the election results, where the opponents who lose could be targeted by the winning party, is something which will probably make people sit up and take notice and wonder if that is exactly what's playing out. So unless a stop has been put to it, or a stop is put to it, we're going to probably see more such clashes, because like I said, we're beaming images of the BJP office from Arambagh, which has been burnt, but there are clashes also. Reports coming in, for instance, from Belighata as well, which is one of the constituencies, assembly constituencies here in Kolkata itself, Kolkata North, which voted in the 8th phase. Reports coming in of some clashes that have broken out over there as well. We're waiting to ascertain the details of that so that we can tell our viewers about it. But these reports are definitely trickling in, Gaurav.
And this is a cause for very serious concern. Follow me for the moment. Many thanks for joining me. I'll keep coming back to you for more on this. And for the moment, it's very important.